It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Giants. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
It can hold over 82,000 fans, and every one of those seats is filled for this one, as our coverage of the NFL brings us to MetLife Stadium. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard, and we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football, not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Here to begin this one is Cameron Dicker. And away we go from East Rutherford. Fielded at the 7. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And he showed some burst on that return, getting them all the way to their own 40. So out come the Giants, their first drive of the game coming up. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. It's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Russ now from the gun. Finds him on the slant. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. A 70-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a gift to Tracy. And they had that one contained right at the line. Stopped by Deion Henley. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. They go right back to Tracy. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
We know how hard explosive plays can be in the NFL, and so often they come via the air. What a great help for the offense to find an explosive play on the ground. Well done.
They've got 1st down from the 31. Wilson now off the play action. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And now they face 2nd down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
The rookie from Notre Dame able to take him down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. Complete beyond the marker. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Giants will have a first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. He's on the move. Stepping up, and he's going to run. And he's able to get this down to the 13.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. A handoff to Tracy. And he's got a nice gain down inside the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Catch is made in close. Touchdown, New York. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established in its top gear right here early on.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Gano ready to send this away. Returning it from the 4. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. They'll bring him down on the return as he gets this to the 33. So now we'll get a look at the other offense as the Chargers take the field. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
True story. First time I saw Justin Herbert at a Pac-12 media days, I thought, that can't be Justin Herbert. That guy looks like a defensive lineman. He is massive. But then you watch him play and you realize he's one of those 6'5", 6'6" guys that's the athlete of a 6'2". The way that he moves so effortlessly, the way that rocket arm can throw the ball all over the field. Been hyper productive statistically. Kind of like that Fouts guy that wore the lightning bolt before him. On any given Sunday, this guy can put on a show. Small pass, big result. This dude is just a juggernaut with the football, and once he gets rolling, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher to stop him from playing add-on with those yards.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on 3rd and short.
They give it to him again. And he's brought down for a loss.
3rd and inches, and you hate to see that run go backwards. I just take myself back to a huddle, and you know you're imploring your guys, listen, just give us a little bit of a push and we will move the sticks. Instead, well, the defense is energized with that stop.
So on 4th down, here's J.K. Scott on to punt it away for the Chargers. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And it'll be Giants football. They're out and set, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tracy. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Stopped by Deion Henley. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Russ is gonna cook here. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass. Trying to find his tight end. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Robinson sent in motion left. Wilson on 3rd down. Finds his target, Robinson. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. That one gains 7. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
A give right side to Tracy. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Stopped by Deion Henley. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Here's Tracy once more. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Stopped by Deion Henley. No gain here after a gain of only 1, and now they'll face 3rd and 9.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Shotgun snap for Wilson. He beams one deep right side. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. Could not beat the defender there. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. Call that punt a 52-yard effort. And the Chargers take possession. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
1st and 10, here's Herbert. It's caught. This is Lad McConkey. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Option give here. And he manages to get back to the line, but no further, as we're at the end of 1. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. Neither side separating much so far. We'll get back to East Rutherford after this. We're back and all set for the second quarter. Charger football. They're advancing it well as they face second down. Cut out left. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Here's a give up the middle. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line. Just short on 3rd down. No gain on the run. And now what will they do on 4th?
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
4th and 3, drive on the line. Another carry for him. And he cannot shake the tackler along the line of scrimmage. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on downs.
These 4th down runs, it's all about want to and will. Want to keep it conservative offensively, try to move it across, but that defense was having none of it. And now they get themselves off the field.
So here come the Giants, ready to take over again on offense. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. First down, here's Russ. Couldn't connect right side, it's incomplete.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
Couldn't connect on 1st, it's 2nd down. Wilson, a quick throw, complete. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Sent to the ground by Khalil Mack.
The defenders, they were ready for that throw, stopping him right at the line of scrimmage.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Wilson now from the gun. Flush down out to his left. Oh, he's going to run for it. 16 yards on the play. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
On 1st down, it's Wilson. He finds Slayton. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Give him 24 on that play. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. And that will not be enough for a 1st down. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Russ looking to throw. Hits him on the out route. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Tracy is in. Touchdown, New York. The Giants get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the 1st half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Gano for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Giants double their lead to 14. Gano ready to send this away. Return coming from the 6. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. Possession switching back to the LA offense as they head out. They haven't been able to get that offense going just yet, Brock. The deficit at 14. First and 10 now from the 30. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, well, the best of them take advantage of it.
It's into the hands of Will Dissly. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And it brings up an LA 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Now a give running right. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
Well, I know this. This staff loves the athleticism and versatility he brings to the offense. That's not only as a receiver, but as someone who can take occasional carries and turn them into good yards.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They'll try and take an option left side. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Micah McFadden able to make the play.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
The handoff on 3rd and short. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Less than a yard needed here on 4th. back to the well again. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Come on now. Was there any doubt who they were going to go to right there? That was always going to be a run play. No problem converting on fourth.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And they needed more than one defender. Their powerful runner stopped for just 1 yard. So it's the 2-minute warning here from MetLife. The Chargers pushing for a late spark before halftime. Shotgun snap to Herbert. And he sails that one over the end zone.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Herbert from the gun. Cut near the goal line. It's an LA touchdown. Well, great work there, Brock. They weathered the storm, and now they've gotten themselves right back into this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big hole, and all you can do is climb out of it. And the words of Pete Carroll resonate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Gray now on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Giants and Tyrone Tracy are running back on now. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Second and 3 now. From the 32. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Chargers are finally stopped on the return, but they'll still take over on the edge of the red zone.
I've not yet in my lifetime come across a defender who hasn't told me how great an offensive player they were back in the day. Oh, you should have seen me as a running back or wide receiver. Well, right there, that defender showed some of that background. A brilliant job of getting into the open field and setting his offense up for success.
The Chargers and Mike Williams getting set for another go on offense. And the turnover puts them right back out there. Just a few plays since they scored that touchdown.
Well, they didn't get much time to rest, but guess what, Kate? That defense didn't get much time to rest either. Now you can go in attack mode while they're still shaking off that last touchdown.
Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. And this is going to be an LA touchdown. The Chargers earn the chance to tie before halftime. Ladd McConkey with a touchdown. Well, they certainly wasted no time in making that turnover hurt even more. They looked to the end zone on the very first play, Brock, and they connected.
You know, Kate, I love it. It was an ambush to begin the drive. They attacked that end zone against a defense who was out there on short notice and not ready for that sudden change they talk about.
Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Chargers tie things up at 14. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Has this at the 6. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Now here comes the New York offense. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Connects with Johnson.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Running back sent in motion. Here's 2nd and 7. Connects with Slayton. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Brought to the ground by Dante Jackson. The Chargers into a nickel set, 3rd down. Blitz coming, Russ. Completed to his running back. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Timeout called, and that's going to be the 2nd for New York. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Russ is cooking again. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Russ off the play fake. Gets this to Johnson. And they're going to be down close to the 35 as he goes out. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
Wilson to throw again. Has him on the quick hitter. And he gets him around 6 there. Cam Hart's up for the tackle that time.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush your passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception. but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Throwing again, here's Wilson. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. The Giants are going to call their final timeout here. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Once more, it's Wilson. Caught near the goal line. And he takes it down to the 2, but no touchdown. He's out of bounds. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Sticking in the air with Wilson. And they will score. Touchdown, New York! The Giants take the lead just before halftime. Malik Neighbors with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants break that tie and now lead by 7. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. This return makes it up to the 25. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on 1st down. All right, snap and a quick kneel down, and the final few seconds are going to elapse here in our 1st half. That's going to bring us to the end of this 1st half of football with the Giants holding things down in East Rutherford. Now down the coast we go to Orlando, Florida, in our studio there. Jonathan Coachman waiting by with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Reports. In the 1st half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes, as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the 1st half of play.
Gano ready to send this away. He fields it from the 8. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. The Chargers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. First and 10 now from the 30. To throw, Herbert. Escapes the pocket. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
One play in, and already they're close to midfield. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 47, Conklin brings it in. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Chargers will have a first.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Herbert on first down. Got Williams, and it's complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
He just made a difficult throw to the outside. Look elementary, Kate, and that's not easy. The placement, excellent. And it helps set his target up to put some more yards on that stat sheet.
Big play got him to the doorstep, Brock. 4 more yards now in goal to go. First down from the red zone. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Still a couple of shots at this one.
That's a nice job there by the linebacker. He kind of looks like a cornerback on that, doesn't he? Perhaps those cover guys are going to have a little fun with him in practice this week, because he looked like a DB right there, swatting the incompletion.
And he takes this in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Ladd McConkey with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chargers tie this game at 21. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Return starts at the 3. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Giants and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Wilson. That one's caught along the left sideline. He's got room to roam here. Touchdown, New York! The Giants grab the lead on their first series of the half. And that right there, Brock, is a touchdown I think our fellow broadcaster Greg Olsen would be proud of. A big strike to the tight end that I don't think a lot of receivers could have pulled off and make it look as easy.
You know, a lot of times you're splitting hairs talking about the differences between tight ends and receivers at this level because a lot of those guys, they work the same route tree and they move with the football, well, just like their receiver teammates. And they can score some lengthy touchdowns too, just like he showed off.
Gano for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Giants break that tie and now lead by 7. Gano ready to send this away. Return coming from the 6. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Now LA getting its offense all set to go. And you and I both know, Brock, they, like so many teams in this league, fans of establishing the run to begin a football game. Well, I'm looking at my watch, I'm looking up at the scoreboard. We're sometime into this one now, and they still haven't been able to establish it against this defense.
Yeah, kind of like when we walk into a defensive meeting room and sit with the D coordinator, and what is his #1 premise each and every week? Stop the run. Stop the run.
Yep.
Because you know if you create that kind of imbalance and you take away the run, you have a chance of playing pretty good defense like they've done.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Micah McFadden able to make the play. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
2nd and 10 now. Complete out to the right side. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Drew Phillips making the tackle.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Putting the tight end in motion. On 3rd down, Herbert. And he's off the mark there. Too far behind him to adjust. That brings up 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
The Chargers lined up in punt formation. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. Takes it in at the 21. Breaks the tackle, still going. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Giants ready for their next series. Let out on offense by their quarterback. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. First and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Wilson. Gets this to Slayton. He's got to gain a 6 there. Stopped by Deion Henley. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. A give to Tracy up the middle. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Pick up a 5 on that play. And the Giants will have a first down.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
First down, and they go right back to him. He'll cobble together a yard there. Stopped by Deion Henley. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Russ now from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. One yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. Wilson now off the play action. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And it's 4th and short. We'll see if they go for it. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
The Chargers returning their offense and this running back to the field. All their scoring has kept them close, but they still find themselves trailing by just a little in this 3rd quarter. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Give now to the running back. And that's good for a gain of 5. Javon Holland there to make the stop. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Straight ahead with Williams. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Kate. Every defensive guy, they watch tape in their own ways. But linebackers, well, they're a little bit like quarterbacks. They got to develop that sixth sense by watching that tape so they can diagnose and get home in a hurry like he just did.
Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. Here's a handoff up the gut. Past the 35. And he's going to get all the way up to the midfield stripe. It's a huge pickup on the play. And it brings up an LA first down.
Hey, forget about it. Forget first down. For a moment, they were thinking touchdown on that play. What a time to deliver a breakaway run. And that puts a ton of momentum on their side for the next snap.
So the ball on the midfield stripe now after that big play. It's 1st and 10. They give it to him again. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Dexter Lawrence on the tackle. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Throw complete to Williams. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. They gain 14 on the play. And the Chargers will have a first.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
It's taken in by Williams. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And it brings up an LA first down. A touchdown aside in that frame as we run out of time in the third quarter. The Chargers have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. A new set of downs awaits them. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Caught quickly on the slant. And he's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Option design here. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Herbert from the gun. He has the first over the middle. And he drives this forward to the 6. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No gain that time, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on 1st down. More to come.
Has it in close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. They're headed up the middle. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. Just a 1-yard pickup there. Now a call to make on 4th and goal from the 1.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, it sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. They snap it to Herbert. Has it down close. And this one does not go far. And he will not get there. They stop him on 4th and goal. What a stand to force that turnover on downs.
You go for it on 4th down. It's got to be something from the short list of plays you expect to work every time. If that one's on the short list, I think it's got to be reevaluated. Something wasn't working on it, and it cost them the possession.
New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Wilson from his own end zone. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. Wilson now from the gun. This is complete to Neighbors. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Staying between the tackles with Tracy. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the first down.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Now here's Russ. He's throwing deep to the left side. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down.
Well, that window was open down the field, but this league is so fast. And these defenders, well, they closed the gap before that throw could arrive.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Throwing again is Russ. Gets this to Johnson. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Looking to throw. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense.
We all saw the brief moment of full-on panic between the ball coming out and him getting back on it. The impressive part is he kept his composure while it was still loose. One mistake didn't become 2, and he cleaned it up before any defenders could.
The Giants are set to punt. And this will come from just inside his end zone. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The visitors and this running back headed back out for a new series. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones. Continuing to hit this defense, more good numbers well into this 2nd half. So the Chargers start off with good field position as they get ready for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Hits his running back. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him, turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
1st and 10, Herbert. He finds McConkey. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Toward the side of the end zone, but that one's incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. A close game is going to stay close, Brock, so long as plays like that are being made in big situations.
Yeah, in these tight games, you got to have your defense making plays just like that in the red zone. Here we got a defender in particular coming through with a big hit to keep points off the board.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back, 3rd down coming up.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their 1st sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball, and they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Chargers down by 7. And the Giants going nickel, 3rd down coming. Looking to throw. Conklin brings it in. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. feet and eyes, they so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Here he goes. Got to have this on fourth down. He finds him beyond the marker. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's first and goal. Simple dive up the middle. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Chargers cut it to a point late in this one. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for two and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this two-point conversion, or is he going to lean in his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the fourth. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Gray now on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. The home team's headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Here he is to throw. Neighbors with a catch. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. The Giants moving quickly. They're in the hurry up here. Setting up to pass. He's on the move. And they got there in time. He's taken down. The Giants using their first timeout. And they still have two available for them as we approach the end of this game. Third and 10. Can this offense get it done? On the handoff, this is Tracy. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. LA uses a timeout here. It's second. Still one more in their pocket to use. Punting unit out now. It's going to be Jamie Gillen doing the honors. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And now he's going to call for the fair catch and take it just beyond the 30. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. Out comes the offense now for the Chargers. And we'll see how aggressive they get to try and end this game in regulation, or if overtime is on the horizon. They've got first down from the 31. Back to throw. That throw finds Conklin. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Following that completion, a member of the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw it. Into the hands of Conklin. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. It's Herbert once more. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find the throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. To throw. No better luck than the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Their punter making his way out now. J.K. Scott will kick it away. It's fielded at the 14. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. That's going to do it for regulation, so some bonus football in store for all those fans in the stands. We're headed for overtime. From the jaws of defeat, they snatch this game away. And now we're off in overtime to decide it. Gray now on the return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Giants offense all set to get started. And this certainly isn't the rut they want to be in, Brock. All of their drives have been ending in punts as of late. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tracy. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. Wilson on 1st and 10. Rolling into enemy territory. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. A handoff to Tracy. Jukes one defender. And he's going to fight his way down to the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. They go right back to Tracy. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there. That leaves them with 3rd down and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. Complete beyond the marker. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed. Enough to keep this drive moving.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Here's Tracy. And he will take it in. Touchdown, New York. The Giants claim a 6-point lead. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with 1 end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Gano for the PAT. The extra point is good, and that's a big one. Now their defense just has to defend a 7-point lead here in overtime. Gano ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Davis. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Charger offense making its way to the field. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Now he gets a shot here in overtime. That one gonna go against the D. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Shotgun snap to Herbert. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
I'm just going to say maybe not the guy you want to pick on in coverage on this particular series. Gets a hand on that throw and knocks it away. The next time, well, he could get 2 hands on it and take it the other way.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Back to the air, Herbert. And he won't get it there. Defender finds a throw and breaks it up. That one firmly denied by the man in coverage. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete. Great looking catch, but he lost track of that sideline and went out of bounds. We've got 4th down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Well, all reviews in overtime have to come from the officials, and we have one coming here. They want one more look at that play. We're all watching that sideline here, seeing where those feet came down.
And no matter what they rule here, Kate, that was an outstanding effort just to make the catch.
Yeah.
Now we got to look and see, did he get both feet in with possession?
Well, good thing they reviewed it, because after further examination, the call on the field has changed. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Now Herbert again. Finds a seam down the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They got 24 yards on the play. And that will set up 1st and goal.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
Herbert throwing again. Intercepted in the end zone. And he's out the clear. 40. Into the red zone. And he makes the half goal. It's a touchdown on the pick six. I don't know about you, Brock, but I can almost feel them going through the 5 stages of grief over on that sideline, watching their would-be touchdown pass in 6 points return the entire way to the opposite end zone for 6 on the other side of the board.
You just don't really believe it's happening until he's, well, 30, 40 yards into his return, and then you're just powerless. Kate, just over 40 times in the history of the NFL this has happened.
Wow.
And what a return to add to that list.
So here at MetLife, it's the G-Men who come away with the win. And it took some extra effort, Brock, some bonus football before they were finally able to separate from the opposition and earn that hard-fought victory. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. It's a well-earned win for the Giants as we say so long from New York.